Last time on the Incorrigible party.
Discovering that Campbell's cure for the black ooze is being loaded into wagons and taken to the Tainted Lake, Shaft, Mia, and Falzern return to the Golden Ichor, where Shakara meets them. Bringing them inside once again, the Dragonborn asks for Falzern's aid in performing the ritual of Catharsis to free Hulsa of her bond with Isabella. Afraid that he cannot do it alone, Falzern convinces Dreg and Mullen to assist him in giving Hulsa her freedom.
And now, back to the adventure.
Dreg nods to Hulsa. Hulsa drinks from the sapphire vial. And the three of you begin your portion of the ritual. Dreg handling verbal, and the somatic and materials kind of broken up. Again, I guess the liquid is the material, right? But the three of you kind of begin to chant, and Mullen and Falzern, you each take up the somatic components. And of course it is a ritual, so there's about a 10-minute progress at least, right? Again, it's iffy on how long this will take. So we're going to do a bit of a skill check with Falzern, Dreg, and Mullen here. Falzern, can you roll me a Arcana check, please? An Arcana check.
18.
As you begin reciting the ritual. Immediately after Hulsa has downed the solution, her scabulet, it's almost as if the where the skin meets the kind of iron that it's made of, it begins to glow in this outline, a blue light, and it's just shining as if kind of like the ring of an eclipse. Like if the moon passes in front of the sun, you get this corona around this circular object in her forehead. And you continue for the first 5 minutes, and it seems to be going okay. It looks like Hulsa is kind of getting a little uncomfortable, and you can make me an intelligence saving throw, please, Falzern.
You're next to Shakara, so you add 4 to that.
Oh, 20.
20, okay.
Thank you.
Your 20 is, as you're progressing, right? You kind of feel, I don't really know, what does Shakara's aura feel like? Does it feel like anything?
Like puppies
do you think, Shakara?
licking your face.
I would think it would feel like a confidence. You just feel slightly more confident in yourself.
That makes sense. Falzern is you begin to misstep, but again, the influence of Shakara's aura fills you with that confidence, and you immediately correct yourself and get yourself back onto the course from this chant and this ritual, and you see that Hulsa kind of begins to wince, and then with your correction and then the effect of this aura, she relaxes again as that light intensifies, and it begins like the corona is becoming like thicker and thicker, and it almost like it's the shadow, what would be like a shadow again on the eclipse, right, narrows down to almost like a pin prick, and so this whole scabulet starts to glow blue now. Hulsa will have to make a Constitution saving throw near the end of this ritual, as the Pax and Worships does note that only the strongest of will can survive this ritual. So I guess actually it would be more of a Wisdom saving throw, wouldn't it?
And she gets a +4 also.
And she gets a +4. Okay, so she gets an 18 with the aura, thankfully. The entire foreheadulet begins to glow. There's no longer any like shadow portion of it. But despite how well the ritual is going and Hulsa's fortitude, she immediately puts her hands to her head and is kind of racked in pain. She reaches for this notebook that she carries and scribbles out in shaking hands, "She's in my head." And she's just bent and hunched over as you're finishing the ritual. The scabulet blinks out and falls off of her forehead to the ground. The ritual does note that, performed correctly, It allows the physical connection to be destroyed by normal conventions. Campbell just kind of takes one of his boots and slams it down onto the scapulet, and it just turns to dust. And Hulsa, in her stool, is kind of bent over, and she just writes out, "She knows," and shows the note to Shakara.
Uh-oh.
She knows you are severed.
Hulsa nods vigorously.
She knows who did it.
She shrugs.
Shakara, I bet she knows.
You see, as this ritual is coming to completion, Falzarin, he's been sweating this whole time, and it's like beating up on his forehead. He's soaked in sweat now and starting to begin to tremble a bit. And just as we get towards the end, he collapses under the effort and slouches down to the ground.
Falzarin, as you kind of collapse, Mullen will kind of stoop down to you and try to help you back up to your feet now that the ritual has been completed.
Oh, Mike, I'm so sorry, Mullen. That was incredibly difficult for me, and perhaps the most taxing spell I've ever been involved with. Thank you.
You did well.
Campbell, you must be wary. We cannot stay. You cannot come with us. You will be on your own. You must be wary of Isabella.
Will she come for me or for Hulsa?
Perhaps both, Campbell. She is not to be trifled with.
Drag Mullen, you are going to Barrack. Can Hulsa come with you?
That's a good idea.
Yes, of course she can accompany us.
If you can make the trip, my parents, my family, they can protect you. In the temple, there's many warriors that could protect you.
Campbell, I do not think she will come for you, as you are tied to me. I think you are safe.
Hulsa kind of grabs your arm again, Shakara, and again kind of points to your brands, and then points to herself.
You want to join me?
She nods.
But you are free now.
She scribbles, "The thing missing that I was searching for, that Isabella offered, it is still missing."
Your family. I would gladly be a member of your family, Hulsa. And I'll hand her the other key.
She will gladly take it. Again, her eyes start to well up.
What is that? What'd you just give her?
A key.
To what?
A key to my family.
What do you mean?
And I'll just
Coven?
stand back and look to Campbell to pull up and gesture to the box.
Ah, yes, of course, the box. And while Steve Campbell picks up this fairly large blue box, it looks like it's completely constructed of sapphire, and there's a single keyhole in it, and he holds it up for Hulsa. She holds a similarly crafted blue sapphire key, inserting it into the lock and twisting it counterclockwise. The lid pops open. She reaches inside. She pulls out what looks like a blue figurine, but it's more than just a single person. It looks like it is three people, three identical people. It looks like it's very finely crafted, incredibly smooth. It's not like it's the figures themselves are featureless, but clearly identical, and they're all kind of locked like arm in arm, right? Almost like Hands Across America style, And she just looks at it and begins to weep as she holds it to her chest.
And I will bring her in to me and hold her.
But...
And gesture for Campbell to join us.
And he will.
Isabella has more boxes than just this one. This means she's still...
This is not Isabella's box. This is my box.
So then whose box did we find back in the warehouse at Alstoff's?
I know not.
Oh, okay. So wait, this box has nothing to do with Izzy at all?
No longer. This is mine, and Hulsa's, and Campbell's.
You all see the keyhole on this box. It seals over, and the seam as well becomes flush. So it now appears to be a solid cube of sapphire. On the top of it, there is what looks like a brand, and it has similar markings, because you've seen Shakara's brands for her great deeds. It has similar markings to that, but there does seem to be an additional symbol in it, like that of a great serpent.
So does that mean you're sticking with us, Hulsa, or you're going to Barrack?
Hulsa is still not safe. I would feel better if she was in Barrack.
I would feel better with 3 of them going together. The road they travel is not always safe.
Yes, the 3 of you could look after each other.
Hulsa will nod. Dreg speaks up. We will be safe. He turns to Shaft. I assume you will not forget our arrangement.
Noted.
He gives you a nod.
I nod back.
If there's nothing else, I am eager to get underway.
I will hug Hulsa one more time.
Be careful.
Travel swift, travel fast. I will send word to my family, and they have much to offer all of you. Protection and healing alike. Put a hand on Dreg's shoulder, I put a hand on Mullen's shoulder, and I cast guidance, so they have some extra ability check. I mean, the concentration will run out, but just sort of like a little magic.
I like the gesture.
Yeah.
I like it. And you kind of see like Dreg is feeling like this additional source of magic now kind of running through him, and after having taken part in this intense ritual, he looks almost like I wouldn't say he didn't look pallid before, but now by comparison, the way he kind of look and just presenting himself, it was clear like before there was definitely like something missing for him, right? Again, he's kind of feeling this revitalization.
Right, like reaffirmed that he can cast magic.
He was able to play his part, absolutely. So he certainly still has connection to any of the arcane power that he spent years learning and perfecting.
Leyland, do I feel any different now?
It's a good question. I would say that you feel like there has been like an addition. I would say it would kind of be more like a sixth sense, right? Something that's kind of wholly unfamiliar to you, but feels right and feels natural, despite it being this kind of otherworldly thing, especially in close proximity to Hulsa and Campbell now. That feeling, it's just like a feeling of connection. You can almost physically feel your ties to them.
Okay.
Falzarin, still sort of drenched in sweat from the effort that he put forth into that ritual, comes up to Dreg and also lays a hand on his shoulder. Dreg, my friend, I'm so sorry for all that you've been through, but I want you to know I will be forever indebted to you for the help that you've been. I wish you the safest of travels.
Thank you, Falzarin. I'm very impressed with your part in the ritual. You have a lot to learn, but you are quickly gaining immense power. Continue on your journey.
This is awful sweet and all, but Barrack, Drakal's on the way to Barrack. We don't really have to say goodbye just yet.
I do not think we should travel together. It would draw too big a target.
Is there a target on our back?
Mayhaps.
Well, Shakara, all of us together form a bigger hammer. If something is to get us.
That is true.
If we're going to be attacked by Izzy, I want as many people by my side as possible. I can heal, I can protect. Just makes more sense. We're all going the same direction.
That is fine. If you feel that is best.
We do need to stop by the headquarters of Pisces. We need to tell the mayor about the Niyogi, if they don't know already.
And let's go do that. I thank you three for your aid in this.
And I'll nod to Dragon Falzer and Mullen.
What do we do about Igna and Kula? What was your plan with them?
They are off looking for the elders that I hope they do not find.
Are they planning to come to Dukral with us still?
They are supposed to meet us there.
Oh.
Once their deed is done. So, hopefully we will not see them.
Right.
I do not plan to wait for them.
As long as that wasn't part of the plan, let's get going.
Or you want to leave your entourage here and then kind of pick them up when you're ready to actually leave the city? Like the four of you want to go about your business.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best
I
way.
see.
Yeah.
Makes it easy for me.
Let's have you talk to yourself a few more times.
On to the mayor's office or the captain of the guard? You wanted to just go to the mayor, right?
Yeah, I'd say we go to the mayor.
Mayor can talk to the guard, yeah.
Sure. And you did get pointed to it by one of the Piscinians out on the street.
Pescatarians?
The pescatarians, yeah. Oh, that's much better. One of the pescatarians out on the street. And it's actually not far from the Golden Ichor, as the Ichor is in the entire city of Pisces it's not like there's a rundown section, but there is like the docks section, which has like the jacked eel and stuff. And on the other side of the river, where the Golden Ichor is, this is again, like I said, more the business district, for lack of a better description, anyways. So you do find the mayor's office, absolutely, and it's actually a fairly modest building. Like if you recall in Goldham, Blake Lakely's mayor's office was very large and was multiple stories tall, but this is just a single story building. And yeah, you walk in and there's a like usual receptionist, and the building doesn't look very, very large.
I go up to the receptionist. We're here to see the mayor. Mayor Holston?
Names, please.
Mia Brightwood?
Shakara.
And you two?
Falzard and Shaft.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
fine.
yes.
Well, yeah.
I'm Falzarin. You may recall us from some time ago when we've been here before.
Remember Mr. Eldridge Blast?
Oh, many of us remember, yes. You scared most of us.
He is not always aware of his strength.
Right. It perhaps was a poorly timed display of my abilities, but I think it served its purpose. I needed to get everyone's attention. We have some good news for the mayor. If we could get an audience.
Yes, of course. It's just back there, down the hall. She'll see you.
I nod and start walking.
All right.
Follow.
Yep, stepping into her office. It's like a 15 by 15 foot room. There's just a simple desk. Yeah, she has, some personal decoration around. No self-portraits like Blake Lakely, though. And actually, Shakara recognized, at least by name, Captain Blears is in there. The captain guard, and they're just conversing, and Blears is, the waterways are almost completely decontaminated, and the citizens are helping quite a bit. I predict should this solution by Campbell hold out as far as this production, then the waters will be completely clear in just under a week.
Knock, knock, knock. Little taps of my hammer against the door.
Captain Blears turns and he looks, he smiles as he sees Shakara. My goodness, you're back already. Does that mean you have good news? And the mayor kind of ushers you. Yes, please. Come in. It is good to see you.
We have good news, and we have Bad news.
Well, let's start with the bad.
Okay. I guess that's me. Hi, I'm Mia. There's a race of people named the Nyogi. Have you heard of them?
I'm not familiar, no.
Okay, well, they are taking over the Vorgarag Mountains, and they are looking to basically take over all of Aspara and destroy our population and race. Good news, Shakara. Tell him. Tell
The
her.
Kraken has been destroyed.
Wow, that's amazing work. And, Captain Bleer kind of gives you a hearty pat on the shoulder, Shigar.
It was mostly Mia who deserves the credit.
I take a deep breath and kind of puff my chest. Yeah, well, Mayor Alexa, the Nyogi are a real threat. I don't know what you guys can do against them, but what you can do is to allow the paladins to help you, if and when they come to the city. The paladins of Cultus are our allies against these foe.
What? I'm confused. What are these Nyogi? What do they? What do they do? I don't understand.
They seek to enslave every living creature.
They have the power of mind control, and they've been enslaving people for years up in the mountains. It's just starting to creep down to the cities. They're replicating at an extraordinary rate. They continue to come from their homeworld, from ships that come from the sky. And the reason why we have to team up with the Paladins of Cultus is they also are creating ships that can fly and fight and combat these pests.
Captain Bleer, he kind of just sits down in one of the chairs in front of the mayor's desk, kind of bewildered.
I know it's a lot to take in.
Yes, I am still confused. So what can the city do then?
Be wary. Those that have been enslaved tend to have a symbol on their forehead.
Tattoo on their face.
They themselves are not evil, but they are not in control. You can break them out of this. It is difficult, but can be done. If you see any of the Nyogi themselves, do your best to kill them. Otherwise, stay away.
Do not listen to their lies. If you see something that has the head of an eel but the body of a spider, you'll know them when you see them. That's a Nyogi.
Captain Bleer's... Well, I will take any additional information to give to my guards about their abilities if you share it with me.
Sure, of course. I will share all my notes with your captain. I know it seems like you're going from one crisis to another. Congratulations and good work on getting rid of the black ooze. The water looks great.
That was mostly Campbell. I'm not sure if you're acquainted with him. He owns the Golden Ichor. It really was him.
Yes, we know Campbell.
He's a friend of ours.
Then I am most assured that we're in good company.
You can trust us. We got the Kraken. We'll get these guys too.
Are the paladins on their way to our city specifically then?
Paladins are on their way to Drakal, where we shall meet them, before headed to the mountains.
But if any come your way from Heraklion, do your best to aid them. They're on our side.
Okay. She'll kind of, nod to the captain, and Bleers will, acknowledge, oh yeah, I'll definitely disperse that information to his guard force. And yeah, if you just Mia, you want to take 5 or 10 minutes and talk to the captain, you can go over and give him the information about what they do, and you've already described them, which is good, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we can you can share that information and give him what he needs.
Definitely will do that.
So you're just gonna basically tell him the abilities that you've seen them do. Anything else specific?
I don't know, like the breeding and the eating of the the dead and the hatching and in the wagons, I guess, like
Okay.
sort of separation and consuming, like enslaving the orc tribes mostly, that kind of thing, being weary of
Okay.
that.
So also like their method of transfer, like in the wagons. It's good information.
Transport, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Shafton, Falsey, is there anything you two want to contribute at all? Or are you just kind of remaining silent?
I think Shaft is just going to let Mia take the lead in the talking about these types of things, that she's much more versed in it.
Yeah.
And it's the main thing that he wanted to get across was the Kraken's dead, so they're aware that threat no longer is to Pisces. Other than that, he'll just remain silent.
Okay.
Yeah, Mia is certainly much more of an expert on this, so I don't know that Falzern has anything all that useful to contribute that Mia doesn't know.
Ah, Mayor Holston. Fun fact, remember Grimby, who captained our ship to Heraklion?
Of course.
The brave soul, the hero that rose to the challenge. He's going to be piloting one of those flying ships. What a story, what a hero.
My goodness. I assume he is fully capable of doing so. A flying ship.
He's being trained.
This talk of
Grimby
space.
can captain anything.
Yeah, when you sink enough ships, you learn a lot.
He is a very strong and marvelous man.
He's a hero of Pisces, that's for sure. Spread the word that he will be flying in
all
the
of
sky.
us pescatarians have certainly done our share of heroics in as of late. But yes, you four and the captain, you've done all of Aspara a great service. We'll certainly send word about the Kraken being gone, and of course this strange race to Port Randus.
Yes, definitely.
I'm sure they're eager to get their docks up and running and their ports receiving and exporting goods once again, like us, like Pisces.
You could do one thing for us. Provide us some horses. We're on our way to Drakal. That might speed up our progress a little bit.
Absolutely. 4, then?
Well, we have a few more friends coming with us.
I do not have need of a horse. I have my own. 6.
We haven't seen...
Buttercup.
Yes, Buttercup.
Buttercup.
We haven't seen Buttercup in forever.
3 plus 2 plus 6.
6.
6 horses would be better, Alexa.
We can certainly arrange that, yes.
Alexa, buy me 6 horses.
Please provide us with 3 horses.
I've added that to your shopping cart.
That's all I got. I think that's. I don't know if there's anything else we need to tell her.
That would be much appreciated, Alexa. I appreciate your generosity. It certainly will make our travels much more swift and comfortable.
Mayor Holston, we thank you for your aid.
Pisces thanks you for yours.
It was the least we could do.
I'm sure the captain will be able to see you out. Our business is concluded. And Blears kind of, nods.
I'll leave.
Captain Blears kind of, as you're walking out, he turns to Mia. So, have you ever been interested in becoming a city guard? We have many positions open for... If you could defeat a Kraken, you could protect the city.
Not at the moment. No. Thanks, though.
Well, can't blame a guy for trying.
Of course.
I know a guy in Victor, though. We can get you his resume.
Well, I'll certainly take you as a reference. I do... Man, I think John mentions in After Party, it's easy to forget your new appearance, Mia. So just assume, even if I miss saying it, that people are often taken aback at first at your appearance. I don't want to make it, I'm not trying to brush it. It's one of those things I'll try not to forget and be able to.
He looks at me
give you
thinking I'm
reactions.
looking at him and asks me if I am interested in the city guard, but I was definitely not looking at him with my pupilless eyes.
Okay, what is the plan? You're going to go collect The others. Okay, what's the name now we have for this band of NPCs?
Targets.
The targets. Okay, you're gonna go collect the targets.
The target squad.
We're gonna get the horses. We're
Right,
gonna get the
you
targets.
horses. Sure. And the captain will actually he'll give you a spot. So where should we have the horses ready for you? Where are you off to now?
Well, we're headed back to the Golden Knicker. We can pick them up at the livery. If you want to take us there now, we can get the horses now.
Yeah, well, you haven't seen any horses through the city, so you could collect them up at, like you say, like the livery, at like the edge of town or whatever, and they can be waiting there for you to grab on your way out.
Sure.
Sounds good.
So you want to grab the targets, go to the Jacked Eel, or what?
What time of day is it?
I mean, it's morning, right?
Yeah, it's now coming on to like mid-morning into about, fairly close to noonish now by this time, I'd say.
I don't think there's any reason to stay in this town.
No.
I think the only thing we need to decide is, are we going to go through the wilderness, or are we going to head up to Aldenshek?
With this many, mayhaps it is safer to stick to the roads.
So to Aldenshek.
I agree, Shakara. I think that might be our best course of action.
There is a couple things to note, though. Aren't there a lot of Neogi in Aldenshek?
I don't know about a lot, but they're definitely around, or have been in the past. It's been a little while.
And also, if we're traveling with the targets, wouldn't it be best to stay sort of off the road?
That is a very good point,
Is there a
Shaft.
portal to Altenshik, Shakara?
There is not.
And not to Dukral either.
Unfortunately, no.
Where would be the closest, Shakara?
Zexa is the closest portal. And we would have to travel to Zexa to get to it.
I see.
I am thinking we travel off the beaten path. Good point, Shaft.
Well, fastest way to get between two places is a straight line.
And with your
So straight over the
with
hills.
your ranger skills, we'll navigate it no problem.
I got you covered.
Will Drag and Mullen be up for a difficult ride?
Maybe Campbell could give them some pain medications for on the way. If they're having pain, I mean, we could heal them every now and then.
If only we had a cleric.
I can heal them. I can't fix his hand, but I can ease pain and suffering.
All right, it is settled then. Let us collect them and the horses and be off.
You return to the Golden Knicker, collect the targets. And, Campbell gives Shakara and Hulsa a hug goodbye to each. And, of course, says his goodbyes to all of you as well. Is there anything I can give you before you leave for this journey?
I think Mullen and Dreg might need some healing along the way. It's going to be a rough ride. I don't know if you have extra healing potions.
Do you have anything to shield the mind from control?
Oh, jeez, I do not think so. Do you have the time for me to craft something?
How long would it take?
Well, I would be working from scratch. At least a day of two, most.
Not for us, but it might be best to prepare some for the city. We do not know how far the Neogi will eventually spread.
That's excellent thinking, Shakara.
These city guards will have need to go up against them.
It's good planning.
Best for them to be prepared.
Campbell, what's ready and available on your shelf right now? What are you offering? We'll take it all!
Let's take a look.
Let's clean them out.
We just got a new shipment of Kraken whiskey.
Let's go!
It's selling like hotcakes after last week. Ends up that was just a big promotional thing.
It was an ad campaign that cost them dearly.
Got a little bit out of control, but hey, we reeled it back in. Stuff's flying off the shelf.
Well, Mia, I have quite the collection. The healing potions, if you'd like a standard one, that's no problem. But I do have a few items that are a bit more interesting, I would say. Perhaps you'd be interested in a potion of invulnerability. And I have the potion of flying. As you see, he's kind of walking around like a storefront now and just kind of pointing at vials on the shelves. This a potion of resistance, a potion of clairvoyance. This one could be very interesting. Does any of this interest any of you? Please, if it will help you.
What's a clairvoyance one do?
Well, perhaps Falzern is familiar with the spell clairvoyance, but the potion eventually gives you the effects of this spell, and you can place this. Oh, it's a very fascinating effect. You place this orb that it can see and hear for you.
Really? That does sound interesting. What's a thing like that run?
Oh, this is very, very rare. But like I say, I assume that's fun show money.
Good, because I don't have a lot. I'll take that one, though.
It's yours.
Thanks, Campbell. I take it, put it in my pouch.
So the potion of clairvoyance, it does basically gives you the effects of the clairvoyance spell. If you wanted to take a look at that. I'll read it out, I guess, for the listeners who are unfamiliar. You create an invisible sensor within range in a location familiar to you, which is a place you have visited or seen before, or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, such as behind a door, around a corner, or in a grove of trees. The sensor remains in place for the duration, and it can't be attacked or otherwise interacted with. When you cast the spell, you choose seeing or hearing. You can use the chosen sense through the sensor as if you were in its space. As your action, you can switch between seeing and hearing. A creature that can see the sensor, such as a creature benefiting from see invisibility or true sight, sees a luminous, intangible orb about the size of your fist.
So it works very much the same way as my eye is scrying.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's a very similar, it's like that same type of effect. Does any of the other things strike any of you?
Oh, absolutely. I would take any and all of them.
Exactly.
So you said there was a potion of flying and a potion of...
invulnerability and a potion of resistance.
I googled all of them. Invulnerability, you can't take any damage.
Potion of invulnerability for 1 minute after you drink the potion. You have resistance to all damage.
All damage. Oh, sorry. Resistance is different than...
Resistance.
Yeah. And resistance has a certain type of damage.
Yeah, so potion of resistance, I would give you your choice of type of elemental damage or type of damage you'd like to pick, and it would give you resistance to that specific type of damage. So a little less versatile.
Gotcha.
And of course, the potion of flying gives you the effects of the flying spell.
Bill just wants
which
to
is
fly.
pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I think Falzern would maybe be interested in that one more than anything. You know, Campbell, I've many a time read of wizards who have got the ability to cast a spell of flying. I would love to be able to do that myself without necessarily having learned the spell. If you're willing to part with it, that potion.
Of course. Yeah. This flying is a wondrous sensation. Please, it's yours. He pulls it off the shelf and shoves it into your hands excitedly.
Thank you. And Falzern kind of looks down at it just in awe and amazement, swirls it around, studies it a little bit.
The other two, any takers?
Mia, do you desire one or both?
Shikara, it doesn't matter to me. Both potions seem pretty powerful.
Perhaps you take invulnerability, and I will take the resistance.
That's fine.
Fair, Shikara, you have your selection of this damage you'd like to resist.
I choose when I drink the potion.
I'm afraid it's chosen once it's created. But again, the selection is there for you.
What are my choices again?
You can choose literally everything. So acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, necrotic, poison, psychic, radiant, or thunder.
Which one would be most helpful against the Neogi? I'm
Psychic.
already resistant to fire.
Probably psychic, yeah.
Why don't Mia? Why don't you roll me history?
I'm not intelligent. You know this about me.
Sorry, because it pertains to the Neogi, you have advantage.
18.
I know Emily kind of said that, but I'll treat it as if it was Shakara asking Mia the question in character. Mia, you do know that, yeah, psychic is definitely very handy to have, but you also know that they are venomous. Is that right? They're poisonous. Neogi do inflict poison damage in their bites.
And that's different than disease, isn't it? Because I am immune to disease.
That is different than, yes, that is different than that. What's the difference between venomous and poisonous again? Poisonous is like a snake is venomous, right? Because it injects.
Yeah, poisonous would be like if you eat it and it makes you sick. Venomous
okay.
is if it attacks you and makes you sick.
Okay, then the Neogi are venomous, I guess, even though they give poison damage.
So it's called poison resistant?
Yeah, potion of poison resistance, absolutely.
I think poison resistance might be best against the Neogi since I do have my circlet to protect my mind.
Wunderbar! It is yours.
Thank you very much, Campbell.
No, Shakara, thank you.
Look after yourself while we are gone.
Of course, I have much work. If I was to have to prioritize one thing or the other versus the black goo or this mind control stuff, what would you recommend I focus on? It is difficult to do both.
Clean the black goo first. For now you are safe from the Neogi, but I fear that will not last.
Of course.
And I'll take his hand. Do you feel it? Our connection?
Yes, Shakara, I do.
No, I will always be here for you.
I am always at your call, Shakara.
And I will nod to him and walk out the door.
All right. To the horses, then. Let's put Pisces in the rear mirror. Let's get the hell out of here.
There we go.
And I'll summon Buttercup.
Okay. So you get to the horses, and actually tending to the horses, Shakara, you recognize the rookie guard that you first interacted with when you were racing the Kraken as it was on its way to Pisces. If you recall, you rolled a very good persuasion check that he immediately listened to you and was terrified of beasts. And it seems like he's no longer dressed as the guard, but he is taking care of the horses, and he kind of waves to you as he sees you approach. Oh, hello! Your horses are ready.
Hello. Thank you. You are no longer a guard?
No, well, boy, after the Kraken, I realized I wasn't really cut out for being a guardsman.
Not everyone is suited for every job. It is best you find what pleases you and where you are happy and most useful.
I appreciate that. I will say, you scared the dickens out of me with, boy, you're a run into the city.
That was a scary time.
Yes, I much prefer the quiet life of tending the horses.
But we killed the Kraken. He's dead.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
So it's safe to go back in the water.
definitely. Well, unless it's black.
Kind of chuckles. Yeah, we have a new saying in Pisces. If you see the goo, you're a little screwed.
Yes, that makes sense.
I admit, it's not very good, but it's catching
Not
on.
very catchy, no.
I'd jump up on the horse and I'd go, all right, well, get back to shoveling your horse shit. See ya. His preferred job.
You got up on the horse all by yourself? Aw.
Yeah, I could climb up on a horse.
Shaft's mounted many a bovine in its time.
That's right.
Oh no. So Falzern hops up on
Oh
his
my
horse and
God.
says,
Hops on his high horse?
No, that's Shakara.
That's right.
On her high horse, Buttercup. Buttercup's high.
Oh, fuck. We've been playing for
I think we
we've
just
been
need
playing
to say,
for too
and we're
long.
leaving.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
And we head out towards...
Well, Falzarin was saying something.
Oh,
I'm
we're
not sure
sorry.
it's really all that impactful of a line, to be honest.
Give it a shot.
Can't be any worse than if you get black goo, you're pretty screwed.
Falzarin hops up on his horse and said, "Yeah, I think the waters are safer than they were without the Kraken, but a wise person always respects the water and the potential dangers that can lie within."
Brought to you by Lifeguards of America.
Falzarin gets on his high horse and says, "I can swim really, really fast." Did you know
Boy,
I'm
we
a,
haven't had that in a while.
Did you know I'm a magic user?
Oh, yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was good, Bill. Don't let them shit on you. It was
Yeah.
better.
Shut
I'm a
up.
magic user. Let me tell you.
Don't
But
let
from
them
now
shit
on,
you,
Buttercup
Bill.
is a high horse, dude.
Yeah, people gotta pay for that.
Dude, Buttercup's eyes are
Oh
freaking.
boy, we're back to Cleveland Steamer talk.
Cleveland Steamer.
Buttercup's eyes are freaking red, and she's like, "Yeah, man, I'm a high horse.
I'm a devil horse!
Legalize it."
That does raise the question, since I've changed, has Buttercup changed any?
What did Buttercup look like before?
Hold on, let me look at what the spell says. You summon a spirit that assumes the form of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed, creating a long-lasting bond with it. Steed takes a form that you choose, and Buttercup is a war horse.
Can she have actions and kill things? He or
While
she?
mounted on your steed, you can make any spell you cast that targets only you also target your steed. It doesn't say what it actually looks like, so I guess it just looks like a war horse. She looks like a horse.
Okay, a horse, of course. Yeah, when you
Arse of
summon
course.
the new and improved Buttercup. Yeah, like you say, Buttercup is a war horse, so that doesn't change, right? I think what would mostly probably change is some of the adornments in the summon like saddle and kind of I mean, is it horse armor? Does a war horse have horse armor? Is this like Elder Scrolls 4?
I have no idea.
You got the horse armor DLC?
She probably has a little bit of something on her head. Just like a little protection on her forehead area.
Yeah. So when you summon like on that head piece, right? There's definitely like your brand symbol is on it, and probably like a blue accent to the saddle. You know, that kind of thing. Very
Yeah,
subtle,
yeah.
but clearly actually different.
Okay.
Okay, so we're heading through the wilderness. Then we're not going to take any roads. We're not going to Altenshik.
We don't need no stinking roads.
Okay.
Yeah, as curious as I am about what might be going on in Altenshik, I think it's probably best to stay off the
We're on a
road.
timer.
And you didn't want to. We're not going to any portals. We're just going to go straight shot. We're not. Mm-hmm. Let's get on the road.
That's it. End of the show. Thanks for listening. But before you go, I got a couple of things I want to tell you about. You can find the Incorrigible Party all over the interwebs. You can just go to incorrigibleparty.com and you can find all the links there. While you're there, check out the Patreon. There's some really cool stuff you could do with the Patreon, like give inspiration to Shaft. Or you can waste it and give it to one of those other mooks. Even worse, you could give it to Leland. Also, you can get access to mini campaigns and other cool stuff that we do. You're automatically entered into all contests. I mean, it's really a great deal. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. All ambient sounds and music provided by tabletopaudio.com. Intro and outro music is by Josh Jarvis, and you can email him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com if you need any music stuff. Okay, that's it. Now you can go. Happy adventuring!